Hello and welcome to Southwestern College's short training film on the use of business objects to complete your comprehensive program review package. Our purpose today is to point out how to access and use the basic report controls in business objects so that you can quickly narrow down the focus of your report to just the data you need for program review. In our current iteration of program review, the primary use of business objects reports is in completing section 6.2. The details of program review documents, or even the reports themselves, may change in the future, but the need to assess and use the basic academic metrics is likely to remain no matter how the process may change. In general, performing a program review requires you to use student enrollment, completion, and success metrics as the basis for your assessment of your program's effectiveness. While forms of this data are available online through higher-level external sources, such as the Chancellor's Office, Student Success Scorecard, and DataMart, getting data from as close to the source as possible is always good practice. That's why we develop the internal program review reports in Business Objects. To enter Business Objects, sign in to the SWC single sign-on at my.swccd.edu using your normal campus user ID and password. You must be on campus in order to use Business Objects. Once you have signed in, click on the Campus Apps icon and then click on the icon for Business Objects. Depending on your computer setup, you may need to sign in a second time to get access. The screen that opens to you has four main areas: the sidebar, which holds the report folders and the icons you will use to interact with the reports; the report panel, which contains the data you wish to view; the control bar along the top of the screen that has typical pull-down style controls; and the footer bar at the base of the screen that contains helpful information. When faculty members enter Business Objects, the only document folder normally seen will be the S70 Program Review folder in the sidebar. If for any reason you do not see that folder, click on the top tab marked Documents in the control bar and examine the sidebar. If the directory shown is My Documents, click on the heading at the bottom of the sidebar marked Folders. Under Public Folders, find and click S70 Program Review Reports. What you will see in the report panel is a list of the reports that have been created for you. You may not need all of them, but they are available if you do. In general, reports either provide student-based summary data, such as the number of current students in a given age bracket, gender, or ethnicity, or course-based metrics on outcomes, completion rates, and success rates, often also split along those student-based demographic lines. To help you select the appropriate reports in this list, each report link has a detailed description available to you when you hover your cursor over the report name. These tooltips tell you what data is available in each report, as well as how you could filter the results to only get the group you need to examine. As an additional help, we will provide a rogues gallery of the currently available reports following the presentation. All reports work in the same basic way. Double-click on the report's name to open it. Please note that it may take a moment to load your report depending on the query. The system is churning through a lot of data to generate these reports for you with the most up-to-date information. Most reports do refresh automatically when you open them. As a quick quality check, look at the bottom right corner to see how recently the data was refreshed. If it is very old, you may wish to click on one of the blue double-arrowed refresh icons to get the latest data. While there, look along the bottom of the screens for tabs in case this report has multiple pages. Some reports are composed of a series of reports, each on its own page. By clicking on each tab, you can see the other pages. There are four basic controls you can use to manipulate a Business Objects report to provide you with relevant data. Let's take each one in turn. Please note that not all of the reports will have all of these tools available. Only the most relevant tools are provided for each report. Most program review reports have filters installed along the top of the report. Filters prevent the report from showing any data that doesn't meet the selections you've made. These filter selections take a form of pull-downs whose default setting is the name of the field and All Values. If you leave the All Values option visible, the filter has no effect and all of the available data will be shown. There may be more than one filter on a page. You can use one, the other, or both. Just remember that they work in conjunction with each other. So, if you choose an academic year 2015-16 in the enrollment academic year description, then the report is limited to only showing that academic year's data. If you then choose ASL in the enrolled course subject pull-down filter, that would mean that only American Sign Language courses taught in 2015-16 will be displayed on your screen. If you reset the academic year filter back to All Values, then you would see all available academic years, but only the ASL courses taught in those years because the other filter is still in effect. Using filters allows you to quickly zero in on the data that is relevant to you. But because they do restrict the data shown, it is important to always check to see if any filters are activated on a report when you desire to look at overall summary data. The second way to manipulate a report is through the use of input controls. Although not commonly used in program review reports, these act in a similar manner to filters. The control itself appears in the sidebar on the left. If the input control is not visible, click on its icon at the far left of the screen. It's the one that looks like a form with two checkboxes on it. That will reveal any input controls associated with the report. An input control only allows the selected data to be provided to the report. It does work with and like the filters shown earlier. So if in the input control box we unclick the Select All option to clear all of the selection boxes, we can choose Accounting AA0110. Click OK, and in the report we will only see figures pertaining to that particular program. But if we then also use the filter to pick 2016 as the academic year, then only the Accounting AA degrees awarded in 2016 appear on the screen. Both the input control and filter are screening the data you see on the report. Note that now the second filter, Degree and Certificates, is not useful as it only contains the single program that the input control allowed through. We could get the same result by setting the input control back to Select All and using the second filter to choose only the Accounting AA01110 award. The choice of method is up to you, but the results are basically the same. The primary difference is that you can select more than one option with an input control, while you may be limited to a single selection at a time with filters. So if you wanted to see the data for all accounting degree programs on a single report, then selecting multiple programs with the input controls would be the best option. The third way of modifying reports is to provide user inputs for some of the search fields. Only a few reports have this option for reasons that should become obvious in a few minutes. You can tell if your report has this option by looking at the left of the screen and clicking on the icon containing an image of a question mark inside parentheses. If the user prompt input exists, you have the option to enter the relevant data in the text box provided. Caution: the downside of using this tool is that you need to match the format of the field in the database exactly. Adding an extra space or incorrect capitalization in your inputs can invalidate the selection and return no data. You have the option to add multiple inputs, like more than one academic year or more than one degree program. If you do add multiple inputs, each one must be separated by semicolons. Once your user input has been entered and the report reran, only data that matches the inputs will be shown in the report. The final way to interact and change the reports is to use the drill down option that has been programmed into some fields in a few of the reports. Generally, for program review reports, these drillable fields are for year and term data. If you see a blue underlined entry in a cell of a table, it's a drill down. Click on the link and you will move from a higher level aggregation, like academic year, to a lower, more discrete one, such as a term within an academic year. To roll that data back up to the higher level, click on the Drill Up icon. Now that you know how to detail into reports, you can select the reports that best meet your needs and work down to the data that is most relevant to your program review. There are a wide range of reports, and it is good practice to examine all of them to see what patterns begin to emerge. You may not end up needing to use all of the reports in your actual program review document, but an intelligent selection of results may make your analyses easier to create, more robust, and simpler to understand. The last thing we need to cover is how to get your precious data out of BusinessObjects. This is a simple matter of clicking on the Export icon, choosing whether you need the whole file, if there are multiple tabs, that is, pages to the report, or just the report you're currently looking at, and then selecting the format you wish the download to take. If you only need the current report being viewed, click Export Current Report As. But if you want all of the tabs in a given report, choose Export Document As. The 5 options for format are then provided. You can save your report as the older 2003 Excel.xls workbook or the new 2007 and beyond .xlsx version. The file can also be saved as a PDF for easy sharing, or if you plan to use this data elsewhere, you can download as text or comma-separated value, CSV. Please note that drill downs, filters, and inputs are not available on these downloads. They are static files. Once you choose your download options, you should see your browser's File Download menu pop up. These vary by browser, so just follow the directions shown to save your download in an appropriate location. That should be enough to get you started. Thank you for your time and attention. Please feel free to play around with these reports. You can't break them, and sometimes the results can be quite enlightening. Best of luck with your program review.